Hello and welcome to the aForm Show, the premier podcast for all things architecture and design across the MENA region. Welcome to your tribe. Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. Today's guest is Melani Sabhaney, co-founder and design director of Interspace. With a passion for creating spaces that are both purposeful and memorable, Melani has played a key role in shaping Interspace into a leading multidisciplinary design practice known for its people-centric and innovative approach. Her work reflects a commitment to thoughtful design, attention to detail, and creating experiences that stand the test of time. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to the show, Melani.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, awesome. I know we've been planning this episode for a while, so I'm glad that it's finally happening.
Yes, me too.
So I want to start off with Interspace, right? Interspace has been in the market for a while.
Yeah.
For people who probably don't know, I'll leave it to you to kind of give us the background of Interspace. But I wanted to almost start with, where was Interspace when you incepted the idea, and where are you guys now?
Interspace is 19 years old this year.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a long journey.
Your company can drive.
Yeah. And honestly, somebody recently asked me what was about the inception of Interspace and, how did you all come about it and all of that? I said, it just happened. Okay. We didn't plan it. It was a leap of faith. Paul, who was my partner and co-founder, and we were working in a company that was shutting down, and we were looking for an opportunity to move out. And someone came and offered us an opportunity to build a 180-key hotel as ID.
Okay.
And he's still our client and friend.
Wow.
Okay. We just took it. So it was after building that hotel, which was Flora Creek, if you know Flora Creek in there. That was our first project.
Wow.
And then we just went with it.
Nice.
And we're here now.
Very cool. I mean, it seems so, for lack of a better word, random and matter of fact that it sort of happened. But it seems to be the way that most studios have started. It's kind of ironic that many of the leading studios that we've been speaking to actually pretty much started just by chance in a very similar sort of circumstance.
I think creativity has this way of seeping into your lives.
Yeah. And an opportunity too, yes. I found. Yeah. So Interspace has obviously built a pretty strong reputation over time, right? Because you wouldn't be able to do so and not be in the market for 19 years. So you're clearly doing something right. So in your opinion, what do you think really makes you guys stand out from the competition? Why would a client ideally come to you and not your competition?
I don't know why they won't go to my competition, but I can tell you why they come to us. It's trust, dependability, and consistency.
Okay.
Because I think good design kind of opens the door for you, but it doesn't keep it open.
Right. True.
So it's really how we've taken our projects and kept at it. So because I'm very proud and blessed to say that our clients who have been with us for 11, 12 years, larger corporates who have so many choices, so many newer choices, younger choices, right? But we have kept with them for all these years. So I honestly put it down to dependability, because Paul and I are always personally involved in our projects. So what happens is when a company grows much larger and scales up, you obviously cannot be in all the projects.
100%.
So maybe that's why we are still a boutique firm, but we love being a boutique firm because this is our base ethics that we still want to keep.
Right. Okay. Dependability is a very important thing. I can see how that would give clients a lot of confidence. While I suppose for the purposes of our audience, if I can be a little devil's advocate,
please
right?
do.
How do you foster that within a studio? Because obviously that's something which you and Paul as business owners would champion and would, go the extra mile for your client and so on, in order to ensure that the dependability is untouched and that it's still there. But how do you foster that within a studio of designers? How do you sort of feed that down to them?
I think culture always starts on the top. So when they know that you are the type who's dependable, and when they find you someone whom they can come to and, who you always stand by the time you've given or what you say, then that kind of seeps down.
Okay. All right. True. I suppose it does start from the top. You're right.
It does. Yeah. I believe that.
No, it's true. It's true.
And of course, I mean, that doesn't mean you don't do good work, because nobody is going to, you cannot be dated in design just because you're a 19-year-old firm.
True.
We are constantly learning. We have constantly upgrading and doing all that needs to be done to provide good design.
Right.
But besides good design, I think it also requires good trust building exercise as well. It's a small market. Dubai is such a small place.
Yep. Not only is it small, I think good design travels fast, but bad design probably travels a lot faster. Yeah, you're just one bad job away from a lot of pain.
Yeah, and one bad job is enough to kill you.
Yeah. True.
It takes a lot once you've done that to climb back onto the horse,
True. Okay. I almost want to ask you this a bit out of left field, because I feel like you might have some opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
As a studio, dare I say a legacy studio that's been around the market for so long, seen so many different cycles, so many different ups and turns and lefts and rights and so on and so forth. And because you're a boutique, I'm even more interested. Where does AI sit with you guys?
Oh, we're on it. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, it's a tool.
Right.
We don't depend on AI. We use AI. Okay. We have our team trained, gone for proper courses. Me too.
Okay.
To actually see how we can bring it in more, just to make our lives a little easier. Like I said, we are a boutique studio, but we do work of quite large scale projects. So it is taxing on us. And I find AI a blessing because it makes things faster.
Okay. Are you looking, I mean, I'm just sort of probing a bit further, if you will.
Please.
But are you looking at this more on the sort of front end image generation sort of thing? Or are you also looking at how it may plug into your business as a whole on the back end with reviewing specs or getting involved on site in some way and reviewing, photos and whatever, that kind of thing?
Yeah, actually, we do both.
Okay.
Because yes, we do use it a lot for our imagery and the preliminary imagery, because AI never gives you what you want at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It gives its own thing.
Right.
But so it works for a preliminary imagery and what we do. But we use a lot of Claude and other things also for our backend systems.
Okay.
And in fact, now our BOQs, stuff like that.
Okay.
We are developing those as formats with Claude.
Nice.
So it helps.
Yeah. I found a recent, I probably should not admit it, but I do put a lot of new DCRs into Claude just to be like, all right, can I actually build this roof or not? Can I actually project into the setback or not? Please let me know.
Oh,
refer to only this document. And funnily enough, I have to say it's a bit of a hit and miss. So I'm not entirely relying on it, obviously. But I find myself almost asking myself every day with everything that I do, is there any way I can get AI to do this? And I'm wondering if that's something which you and your team are also asking with almost all the tasks that you're doing.
Yeah, because I think when you start using it, you find it a lot easier. Like I need to prepare a document right now. Okay. If I'm going to sit and write down all of it, it's going to take me such a long time. Right. So I write my one paragraph and say, give me a 10-page document, and it gives me a 10-page document, and it takes me an hour to review it and do corrections, which the rest of the team can do.
Right.
But if I had asked one of my teammates to do it, it would have taken them 4-5 hours.
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I actually found, I don't know who will probably benefit from this, but maybe someone listening. If you do shop drawing reviews, like we do many of them quite often, and it's quite a laborious task to go through. So we did start plugging it into Claude and ChatGPT and things like that to do an architectural review of this shop drawing. So
I would love to do that. I haven't yet gotten there.
Yeah. So small problem, which I'll illustrate. So it picks up a lot of the big things, right? So with us, if we're looking at, say, a glazing package drawing, it picks up the basic things, which even I would. So things like we need an EPDM membrane, we need clearances here, fixings to be concealed, craftsmanship, like all that it picks up. But then what I found is in one of my reviews, I kind of picked up everything that it gave and kind of put that as our review, and it went out. I didn't realize that it had also, in that particular scenario, put a lot of comments on the concrete upstand, which this glazing system was sitting on.
Okay.
So much so that it went down to the actual concrete mix. It went down to the kind of aggregates, rebar, etc., etc. Stuff which me as an architect should not be commenting on. For many reasons. The top one being, I don't know. And it went out. Unfortunately, the contractor came back and said, hey, is there a particular reason why you want to change this upstand and things like that? I was like, no. He's like, but your comments say otherwise. And I was like, sorry about that. Let me revise it for you. Approved. Proceed. So my point in that little anecdote was that it actually did give me a lot more than I would have normally seen, but it does still require a review at the end of it, like you were mentioning, sort of going through it at the end. But it's super powerful. I was genuinely impressed.
Yeah, because shop drawings, I'm always concerned, you see, because it's very design specific.
100%.
So I've never actually even thought of putting a shop drawing into Claude because I want them to exactly know what's happening, see if all those small things have been included. Because you miss it in the shop drawing, you're done for.
100%.
Especially in interiors, because 100%. Then you go there and, oh my God, this is not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
So sort of like a simple use case, which I put in is, if we, not to get too technical now for a lot of you designers listening, but if you sort of take your main architectural spec, your outline, your NBS spec, for example, or CSI, whichever one you use, you can then sort of input that document and your shop drawing and just do a basic check to see whether the systems are matching. So is your metal cladding code the same on your shop drawing? And therefore, is it the same in your outline spec, which means the system is the same and the system is the same here.
Right.
So simple things like that, which get those big things out of the way. Again, for purposes of liability and so on, tomorrow if you need a mock-up and the contractor then says, no, but I never agreed to this, you can say, no, your shop drawing had this code, which is my code, which is this system. So things like that I found.
I think it can cut your time out by at least 30-40%.
Closer to 50, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then you just need to look for the other small things, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there are project-specific things. Of course, there are custom things and so on. I typically don't get involved in that, but cladding details, blockwork details, insulation, things which are fairly standard. I found it does help a lot. Yeah.
Nice. Good to try. I shall.
All right. So on the topic of learnings, I think this is a good segue to ask you. As I mentioned, a lot of our audience are designers, sort of the mid to senior level designers. I'm keen to hear from you, be it from any of your experiences or any of your projects. Do you have any key learnings that you can share with our audience? Any do's or don'ts which you have sort of picked up in your career over time or learned from a project, anything which could benefit them?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned over all these years is adaptability.
Adaptability. Okay.
And I won't say go with the flow, because you always have a direction set in your mind as to how you want to drive things.
True.
Right?
True.
But the direction you take to get there keeps changing.
Okay. Adaptability.
Because every client, I feel, is different. There are people who want a new design, who want something totally different, are willing to give you the time to do it. But there are clients who want the same thing in 1 week.
It shouldn't take you more than 1 week, Melani. You've already done the design.
Exactly.
You just sort of put a new title block.
It's not that difficult. But
we are joking, by the way. It is very difficult. Just if any clients are listening, this is a joke. It does take a lot more work.
Yeah, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Anything that is not seen tangibly is always considered easy.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is to navigate that, to be adaptable. Some things, yes, you just have to do it in 2 days.
Yes.
Okay. If you're going to be rigid about saying that, you know what, this is how I work. Or I can say I'm not like that. And there are people who do it exactly that way, and it is very valid. But this is a lesson that I've learned, and it has worked for us, I must say.
Right.
That yes, certain clients are a certain way. You either take it or leave it. But you adapt.
True. Do you find, I mean, this is just out of curiosity now, do you find that there's a lot more learning from the fast track clients as compared to the sort of regular on pace clients?
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's a different kind of learning because maybe I'm just made under pressure. I work best under pressure. I don't think it's a good thing, but I'm just saying that when you know that you have only this much time, but the quality of what is going out cannot
drop below.
Drop. You give it 150%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's not because, that's something that our entire office shares. Between us, we're like family. We fight, we do whatever we want. But what goes outside this office is interspace. It's not me, it's not you, it's not about us.
Yeah.
It is interspace. So whatever we have to do to get it right, whether it is 1 week you're getting or you're getting 4 weeks to do it, it is still the same. But so pressured projects put more, it's like it brings out the best in us.
Okay. I think there is some truth to that because, I don't know, maybe this is a designer thing. I feel like, and yeah, this is something which we speak about in our offices a lot. I think if you give a designer, 8 weeks to do a concept, a designer will take 8 weeks to do a concept. Yeah. But if you give a designer 3 weeks to do a concept, they will do one in 3 weeks also. And I am willing to bet that there is not a significant difference between both outputs. So I think if you're given time, you'll take the time.
It's human nature, right?
Yeah.
But yes, it might give you a little more time to revisit it, maybe fix the small things and all of that. Definitely. I'm not saying that because I love it when I have time.
Yeah.
It gives me time to go back and relook at it and maybe make it better. Yeah. But then design is a constant evolving process.
True.
If I see the design that I've done 2 months ago, I have something better to do now on that same design.
Yeah.
So where are we with that?
I do have an opinion on that, and a little more of a niche opinion actually, which is within stages of a project also. I'm of the opinion that if you're going to do a concept, right, and after that concept, nothing changes, meaning there's no particular change in schematic, there's no particular change in DD. To me personally, I think that's a pretty boring project. That's a pretty mundane, average project. I'm of the opinion that after you finish a concept and now you're into schematic and you get engineering and things involved, there will be or there should be opportunities which come up for further enhancement, improvement. Similarly, as much as people hate it, it will come up in your DD as well. So I believe that the design is never really 100% locked and that it does evolve even on site for that matter.
Yeah. And I think that is what makes for good design because what happens is when it finally goes to site, there's always stuff that happens which is unexpected.
Yeah.
Right? How quickly and how best are you going to adapt that to actually not ruin your design?
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
It's till the very end.
Yeah.
I think design is a constantly evolving process. I love it that way.
Nice. Apart from adaptability, anything else that you can share as a key learning?
It is also to be true to what you stand for, because
that's a tough one.
You might think I sound philosophical in the way I speak, but that may be the years that has come in. But this market and this place is so quick and so fast and so, rapidly changing, right? That it is so easy to forget what your true values are. What do you stand for?
Yeah.
Because the effect is so strong. But I think you need to stand true to what you believe in, whether it is design, whether it is the values that you bring into your office,
True.
And I think from where we've started, that's one thing I can also very happily say, that we've managed to run this firm with the same kind of, is because those base values haven't changed for us.
Okay.
Because money changes people, more work changes people.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but if you're going to be true to what you stand for, I think that's another important.
True. Can I then ask you a slightly difficult question, which is, and you don't have to answer it. It's completely fine. None of my business. Who am I to ask? But in order to stand by your values, I've found that you need to be able to say no very strongly, very firmly, and quite often. So as Interspace, have you ever said no to a client because their values are not aligned or the design not aligned for whatever reason? It just wasn't a fit for you guys.
We have. Okay. But most of the time, we always go into the project with the thing that we're going to get it. That's why adaptability was important. Right. But that has nothing to do with the values. Like when we find clients who think that, what you're doing is, we've had those experiences as well. We've just got up and walked off. Okay. Because for us, it did not make sense.
Yeah.
We are ready to do whatever is required within that
Yeah. No, makes sense. I think I'm very quickly and very certainly starting to understand how Interspace has been able to maintain its legacy for this long, because I think you've hit the mix perfect, right? On the one hand, you do have to be somewhat rigid to your principles and policies, but then on the other hand, you also have to be adaptable, which is a bit of a oxymoron if you think about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, we are basically nice guys, So when
that's the summary of the episode.
We're easy. So when the client comes up and we allow them that much of leeway to do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah.
But then we put a stop there. But it's not like we are rigid.
Yeah.
We are not.
Yeah.
Okay. So if a client is like, no, this is the only thing, and we tell them like, this is not how it is going to work. This is how it's going to work. And we allow them the flexibility to go up and down a little bit, but not more than that.
Yeah, fair enough. I do then want to shift gears a little bit and maybe talk about clients and client expectations, because I find it fascinating. For someone like yourself, you've seen many markets, many types of clients, the transient clients, and probably, clients like you mentioned who you've now had, relationships with over a decade, for example. So I suppose the question is, in today's market in 2026, how have client expectations changed? I mean, there's the obvious ones with pace and so on, but anything which you've noticed which has really struck out of late?
I think clients are very well prepared now.
Right. Okay.
Thanks to the amount of information that is available.
Right.
Most of the clients now that come to us have already checked with ChatGPT, have already done their run with Pinterest and other things, and they know what they want.
Is that a good thing?
I am not sure. I tell them it helps, yes, to give you because, they feel better prepared from their perspective. It's always good to work with a client who thinks they're better prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a good start. But I will tell them, please, I understand. We will take it from there, but we are not going back there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just a start point. So it's always, nowadays, I just feel that they come better prepared. They want more on value. There is nothing that is not available on a single question on ChatGPT.
True.
Or Claude. So I think it is good in a way because it helps us to stay more original, more on track.
Right. Okay. Anything else that you feel stands out from their expectations today as compared to before?
No, but I think before and even now, the part of being trustworthy and consistent, I think hasn't changed in all these years. It is only the beginning part of a client relationship that I think has changed in the years. Once you set foot in, the rest of it, to me, even now feels the same.
Interesting. Very fascinating, because I too have been in the industry for quite a while.
I know.
And I think I share your sentiment very well. I think the client, that when I say client, I'm saying sort of the generic client, right, is genuinely a lot more informed across a lot of specifics as well. I mean, yeah, sure, there is the, Pinterest and the much more, tighter brief and what do I actually want in my bedroom? What do I want in my closet, etc. That's all there. But I feel like they've taken it a step further, even with materiality. Like clients actually now, I mean, at least the ones that I've seen, they do know the difference between a honed travertine and, like a classic Romano travertine, for example, which I would have never thought a client would know on their own, It's all
one question away.
True. I did not factor that in.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's one question away. My clients now, whose villa I'm doing, we have to say, please, can you stop with the ChatGPT now? Because she is so prepared.
Right.
With every single thing.
Right.
Her kitchen, the layout. What is the best layout for the kitchen? And so she is ready with the question, why aren't you putting my fridge here? Why can't I have my fridge here?
Oh.
Because ChatGPT gives you a layout.
True.
That is the best form of kitchen. So I have to explain why I am doing thing a certain way,
right,
which makes me actually more stronger in what I am doing, because it has to be right if it has to work.
True. And I'm sure, I suppose the question going into ChatGPT is a fairly one-dimensional one, whereas you're probably looking at it from services, maintenance, light coming in, etc., etc. Yeah.
Right? There is a question and there's an answer for everything.
Yeah.
So if they start, like you said, on materials, says Melani Kitchen, this is the best material. I say agree. Let's do quartz. Okay. Thank you, ChatGPT.
Quartz for the win.
Let's just, so where you agree. Right. It's not that it helps in some ways, but sometimes it is difficult because it kind of blindsides you.
Yeah, it's true. I've had one client in particular that's kind of, I wouldn't say struggling, but we were sort of exploring multiple elevation options for this project that we were doing. And this one meeting, just out of nowhere, I kind of, do our presentation and he's like, all happy days, fine. Tweak this, tweak that. I'm not really loving it yet, but okay, fine. And then he kind of connects his laptop and there was like a 15-page presentation for me, which I then sat through. And he was like, so I like the arch here and I like this here. I like this molding here, but I like this termination detail here. And I'm like, and how does this all fit together exactly?
That you figure. That is for you to figure. That's why I've got you in, I know it. We've had that.
Yeah.
But that is because they have so much more exposure and it's so much easier for them to come up with boards, right?
True.
And I like actually to start like that, I tell them beforehand that if you've got something, please bring it. Take your time, bring it. Because then at least we start on a certain level. Because once you go in with your stuff and then they start doing this exercise, it's a horrible way to go.
True.
Because it distorts what you're thinking. Okay.
Yeah, you're just going in circles.
And then you're going in circles.
Yeah.
So we always tell them, please bring it on. And then we're on board. Yes.
Let's get it out of the way right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. As we sort of reach the end of the episode, there was one more thing that I wanted to sort of talk to you about, which is we spoke off air a little bit about joinery. And about how you have a secret weapon when it comes to joinery. So if you could share with the audience what happened and why it happened and why is it in your portfolio now?
So yes, Interspace was doing Malabar gold and diamonds for 15 years. We've been their designers with them for quite a long time. So this joinery was an idea to start along with them as partners to do, because there were so many stores and there was a time limit for the stores. They would need a store in 21 days, design and all.
Yeah, there's an opening date and rent starts.
And so it used to be something that was required.
Did you say 21 days?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was like breakneck.
Yeah.
And somewhere when you're working with other fit-out joineries, multiple joineries, it does get difficult to commit to that.
100%.
So that's how MFIT started, and we are all partners in that firm. And now they are our build partners. It has grown significantly, I must say, and they do excellent work. So they are our build partners on all our projects, which we do design and build, which we do a lot of, especially for commercial projects. And what it gives is safety and control and quality control, because confidently that you can commit to a certain time, that there is a team that will work towards your timeline, and to the quality that is expected. If something goes wrong at site, you can say, guys, please take it off, fix it, get it. It needs to be done tomorrow.
Correct.
You can never do that if you were counting on another outside joinery to be able to do that.
True.
Because they're going to have their own reasons why not.
Exactly. Just process. Just process itself will kill the entire thing.
That was one of the reasons why we are also confident taking a lot of larger design and build projects, because we've just finished Alaka in Fujairah. We do a lot of work for Emirates headquarters. Quite interesting work. Including 3D printing, you name it. So we are pushing it forward.
Right.
To do better work.
So as an entity, do they now take on other design jobs as well, which they can then execute?
Yes.
Outside of Interspace?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
They do a lot of interesting work as well. And they still do all the Malabar Gold stores. And so,
nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's an interesting vertical. I like talking to designers like yourself and then owners also to kind of just see these different, everyone seems to eventually at some point I've noticed invest in, co-own, nurture, startup, found something within the design field, which in some way plugs back into what they do. And there seems to be a very common thread across, I would say, ambitious designers.
It makes sense, right? It's like AI now.
Yeah.
It's like plugging into AI.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just going to make your life a little easier. Yes, it's investment.
And it is very long-term thinking also.
Yeah, it is also.
Because I would imagine it's to see the true, okay, maybe not so much in your case because the projects are so, sort of breakneck turnaround. But I would think under normal circumstance, it would take a significant time to see the actual return on that investment. By the time you actually start, set up, hire, start production, maybe the first one you still have to tweak, the first sort of project. Second, you probably would see the best results by the third or fourth project. And I suppose you have to then account for that time up until then.
But you see, we are partners with some very steady forces.
Right.
And also having a good team to lead that joinery is very important. Because we also had the first few years, it went and debunked, and then we had to be built back again. But now it's doing very well, I must say. Okay. So it's really how it is being led and driven.
Right.
Especially joineries, because it's all about quality.
True.
And cost.
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like joinery is also something where a lot of designers feel that they can take risk in the sense that try out a new form, try out a new hinge, try out a new, closing mechanism. Let's pivot a wall if we can, like that kind of thing. I feel like joinery is where designers take a lot of risks. So if I'm putting myself under the production manager at that company, for example, if I'm in his shoes, I'm thinking, we've never done this before. How can I guarantee that I can do it? I kind of have to do a trial, do an error, do another mock-up, do this, do that. And you have to sort of be in that constantly learning mindset, I suppose.
I think we are too, right? Like we design furniture. I love designing furniture, by the way. We did do this Eden collection, which I had in Design District. Couple of years ago. But for every project of ours, we design some piece of furniture which is different, which is required for that space, because we're not going to run around town trying to find it.
Of course.
Okay. So we'll end up making it.
Right.
Okay. And it's nice because it gives you a chance to also not do just run of the mill paneling, blah, 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 but furniture. Now they've got a full-fledged upholstery unit as well. So it's got everything.
People can't tell, nice. But I'm like somewhat smiling. I'm like, I feel like I want to hang around this joinery. It's be like, can I plug in like a small thing here, small thing there? I would love to be at a joinery, by the way. Just saying, just putting it out there. I feel like all designers at some point should physically make something in a joinery facility. I feel like there's a lot of learning that will come from that. Just by actually seeing how a pencil joint is put together, for example.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's one thing to know the detail in 2D on CAD, but to actually know who has to lift this sheet, how is it going to go on your actual tray, what is the actual nozzle that's going to bit this thing out. I think many designers don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. You won't believe it's quite far. The joinery is in Ajman, but a couple of projects I have taken the team to go see it.
Right. On
certain projects to actually see how it works. And the excitement is unbelievable.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Because it is a very good feeling, that you've drawn something and, this is how it fits. Okay. I didn't know that.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. It is. I think everybody should do that. Yeah. Even if you just to go see on your own projects how it works out in the factory.
Yeah, 100%. I remember one of our projects that we did down in City Walk, which was an interior job. There was this one piece of joint that had a lot of magnets, which was like a thing from the client, wherein they wanted this sort of things kind of clip on, clip off. And it was this highly bespoke, over-engineered piece of cabinetry, I would say. But when we saw the mock-up, it was super cool. And the entire team, we just spent the entire afternoon just like throwing things on it, like magnet stick, take it off. It still works. How cool.
I know, magnets. That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I haven't done one of those.
Yeah.
Not too complicated.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite a simple person when it comes to design. I like to keep things more feel good,
Yeah.
not too complicated,
And it should work.
and it should work.
Yeah. I get that impression from you.
Yes. No, because I think I've always felt that, that
Yeah.
you go into a place, it's how you feel in that place. Making something look simple is a lot more difficult,
Yes.
than making things
It is
ostentatious.
It is. I tell a lot of our junior designers that I'm like, it's very easy to write like an A4 sheet of paper. It's very easy to write a story, for example, filling that entire sheet. It's harder to condense that into a paragraph. It's even harder to condense that into a sentence. And then it's even harder to condense that into a couple of words. Those couple of words is what we're after. So yes, it is easy to over-engineer, and it is easy to sort of add a lot to something. But yes, I do agree. Sometimes the most simplest of ideas are probably the best. Yeah.
And it needs to feel right.
Yes.
End of the day, most important.
Yes.
No matter what you do, whether it's an office, because I always think that hospitality, it teaches you emotion, how emotion and experience is important.
Yeah.
But commercial, although you're only thinking about practicality, about adaptability, maybe moving things, being modular is all in.
Maintenance,
but
and so
believe
on.
me,
Yeah.
commercial also, it has to feel right.
Right.
Every office, it makes a big difference when you go into an office and you say, oh, it feels nice. The impact of just feeling nice
Yes.
in an office
Right.
is so important, since you spend how many hours in an office?
100%. More than half your life, I would imagine.
Yeah, people always think that, feeling is for residential and hospitality, experiential and all of those things. But I think, please, it is as important in an office.
Dare I say, you do live partially in your office.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get grilled by a lot of designers who say, no, we don't live in our office. No, what do you say?
But you spend a lot of
you do
time
spend a
in
lot
your
of time.
office, and that's where your best work needs to come out. And I mean, you need to feel good.
True. Fantastic. I feel there's a whole other different podcast we can do about commercial interiors now. Because I have so many questions to ask that, but I feel like for the purposes of this one, we should sort of wrap it up here with a nice little bow. And we do have a tradition to do that. As you probably have heard in our other episodes, we have something called the aForm tradition, which is a question that's asked by one of our previous guests to the next guest, not knowing who the next guest is. You don't know who asked the question. The person who asked the question doesn't know who's going to get the question. And to make things more fun, trusty producer Joel puts this all in one big fishbowl and then eventually picks out a question for you to answer. So off late, some of these questions have been quite silly.
No.
You would think that they would be architectural and design related, and sometimes they are, but there's been a trend off late. So let's see what you get. Ooh, okay, all right. It's fairly okay question. What's your, I can't believe the client asked for that story? So what's your, I can't believe the client asked for that story? There's no rush to answer. This is where I can sip my coffee and have some water and eat some fantastic cookies.
Yeah, I did have a client who asked, that was the first time that I experienced that. So for me, it was new. But it's been done a lot since then. This was quite some time back. That they wanted the entire basement to be like a nightclub, to park their cars.
Yeah, at the time, I can imagine. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
And then you see the Bugatti and this and that. And I'm like, okay, but it's still the lighting and the black granite and it was not just a showcase. Yes, of course, you've got those cars, you want to have a showcase. But then the entire space was meant to be a party place.
Yeah.
So the cars are there for show.
Yeah.
So when basement is always service. And okay, even if you're going to do at the max, you'll do one home theater, one, whatever, game lounge, something like that. But to have an entire showcasing space in your basement, when they said, oh, this is what we want, it just took me off a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine, because traditionally, like you said, it has always been service primarily. It's in the basement. It's not like it has a view or anything. So
yeah, we've always done, yes. If you're talking about all the larger luxury homes, you don't ignore the basement in any way. But to have it so ostentatiously done, that was the first time.
Okay.
And when someone said, oh, we want that.
Yeah.
But I understood when the cars came in. Why?
Yeah, these are not normal cars.
Yeah. I mean, they need a setting.
Yeah.
So, yes.
But funnily enough, I feel like it has become a norm now.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Now it's very common.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard it, for me, it was quite something, quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
But
nice. Okay. Fantastic. Very cool. So, Melanie, I want to, on behalf of the show, thank you for your time. This has been awesome. We had a lot of fun. Like I said, I think we can do multiple episodes on multiple topics, which is always a good sign of a good episode. So, on behalf of the team, I want to thank you for coming on, being transparent, and actually sharing your knowledge and expertise. I'm pretty sure someone listening has learned something today.
I hope so. Because we were just having fun.
Well, that's kind of the premise of the show, right? We're just designers having fun.
No, but I love it that this is such a, an honest podium, because this, to me at least, didn't feel like it was a very prepared podcast, or it was a conversation.
Yeah.
And it was a genuine conversation. So I feel it's a nice place to be in.
Nice. I mean, that's what we try to do. Sponsors are listening in. Please, Melanie, if you can tell them again how honest this is. I'm kidding. No, but I think that is what we strive for, to be honest. As much as I do like to make guests comfortable, and I do like to, sort of give you a heads up to an extent about what we're going to talk about. I love it when the conversations are much more fluid and much more conversational. And after all, we're all designers. The people listening in are designers. You're a designer. I'm a designer. So I think we all get each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
For all of you guys who want to get in touch with Melanie, want to know more about Interspace, everything will be tagged down in the show notes. And for the rest of you guys, we will catch you guys next week. Fellow aFormer, thank you so much for your time. If this episode added any value to you, please share it with anyone who may benefit. If you want to carry on the discussion, please get in touch with us over socials. We are at aForm Show on the gram and hello@aForm.studio on email. That is at aForm Show on the gram and hello@aForm.studio on email. Until next time, stay inspired.